Hi everybody, this is Joe Contrera and welcome to the Alive at Work Leadership Video blog. This week, we're going to talk about the 3 things that happen when a leader loses their purpose. Number 1, when a leader loses their purpose, it is quite possible that they never had a really clear purpose as to why they chose to be a leader in the first place. Statistics show that 1 out of every 2 leaders take the leadership position because of compensation, which might indicate that they never felt called to be a leader. You see, leading others is a privilege. It's not an entitlement. Just because you succeeded as an individual contributor doesn't entitle you to be a leader, nor does it guarantee your success. When you think about it, being a leader is one of the most challenging things you will ever do in your career. And if you don't feel called to be a leader, when things get tough, like they are now, you may find yourself questioning why you ever chose to step up into that leadership role in the first place. Which is actually a good thing, because like we spoke in our last blog, we said, without the why, the how and the what don't matter. Without the why, without the clear purpose, all the hows and whats of leadership don't matter. I once had a coaching client at a fairly high level up in an organization I was working with. They said to me, Joe, I love the office, the money, the company car, the bonuses. If I just didn't have to deal with the people side of this thing, it would be the perfect job. Which leads me to the second point about what happens when a leader loses their purpose. Number 2, when a leader loses their purpose, they may find that they have made themselves the center, the focal point of their leadership instead of their people. This is one of the biggest mistakes a leader can ever make because it means that they have lost sight of what it truly means to lead others. This shift means that they have become self-centered. Single biggest slayer of all leaders is their ego. You see, you can't be a great leader if you're constantly focusing on you and getting your needs met and or trying to get your sense of self-worth and value externally, and that includes from your people. Self-centered leaders can sometimes see themselves as the savior who's going to come in and turn everything around. But what are some of the other actions? How would you know if you were being a self-centered leader? What does a self-centered leader look like? Well, you'll hear them say me, I, and throw in an occasional word like team, us, we, even though everyone knows it's BS because actions speak louder than words. Number 2, in meetings, self-centered leaders will speak 80 to 90% of the time. Again, actions speak louder than words. And this is even more important now because so many meetings are online and virtual. And so the need to engage others is critical. You can't engage others if you're speaking 80% of the time. Next, self-centered leaders act as if they know everything and their people know nothing. They may say it outright, or their actions indicate it. They may be a subject matter expert because they read something. That doesn't make them a great leader. And while you think this is an exaggeration, I have actually heard leaders say to their people, you don't know what the hell you're talking about. You don't know squat. Even though the person has been in an industry for over 20 years and has 20 years of experience. And last, a self-centered leader feels the need to constantly remind others of what they did in another position at another company, possibly in a completely different country and or culture. Or they may feel the need to keep reminding people how many years of experience they have. Let me share a little truth with you if that's true for you. Nobody cares. Nobody cares, except maybe you and your mother. All right, the third thing that happens when a leader loses their purpose, it's pretty straightforward, and that is the results are devastating. Why? Because their beliefs and their behaviors impact not just their results negatively, they impact the results of the entire team in a negative way. It's kind of like the COVID-19 virus. The virus can negatively impact the host, but it can also infect everyone around them. And sometimes you just don't know how someone has been infected because the impact is hidden. So what happens if you realize you've lost your purpose and you've become a self-centered leader? In pretty much every 12-step self-help program, they will tell you when you walk in the door, the only step you have to get absolutely perfect is step 1, which is realizing that you have a problem. If you don't realize you have a problem, you will never change. You will continue down the road and you will hit a wall. It's like driving a car and letting go of the steering wheel. You don't crash immediately. You crash eventually. So, ask yourself, what is it that really called you to be a leader? Ask yourself, do you see leading as a privilege or do you see it as an entitlement? In our next blog, we're going to talk about in more detail how to adapt your leadership style to today's virtual workplace, which is really about shifting from being a self-centered leader to an other-centered leader so you can engage your people. Thanks again for listening. Until next time, have an extraordinary week.